That's what happens when you be eating when the show coming on. Welcome to another edition of Box Seats. Your host, Frank Holder, sitting here with you. We're getting ready to talk about another show that deals with sports and comedians. My man Talent is in the building. What's up, T? How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. Everything's good. Happy Friday.
Yes, sir. Happy Friday to you
First
also.
of all, happy Friday to you and yours.
Thank you. Same to you. Thank you, sir. Let me bring in my man Fig. He's also in the building. Fig, what's happening?
What to do, y'all? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. My man Mike Sean's also in the building too. What's up, Mike? How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Let's enjoy this Friday and get this sports started.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, so let's get ready to jump up into it. Let's see. Let me bring in. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. And let me do this. There you go. First up is the Brittany Griner got arrested on February 17th at Moscow Airport. She has an appeal coming up on October 29th. She's been detained ever since. People are talking about her appeal. What's your thoughts on Brittany Griner still being incarcerated, bro? We're still talking about Brittany Griner, Lord knows, almost 250 days later.
It's crazy, man. First of all, my cousin's still incarcerated. Ain't nobody talking about him. Ain't nobody going over there. Ain't nobody trying to get my just want to shout about Rob Mel. Hang in there, brother. Dennis Rodman's on the way. Listen, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And maybe I'm hoping that this is what I'm hoping, because a lot of time politics is theatrics. And I'm hoping that this whole thing has been theatrics for the appeal to come up and for us to see some results and her getting her home. So I'm just hoping for theatrics, Frank, because stranger things that happen when the politics get involved. I know we're in the middle, well, Russia's in the middle of this big war. And I think that's the holdup, to be honest with you. So I think that's their bargaining chip, and as far as how far America gets involved. And hopefully the theatrics are over, man. Bring her home.
I agree with that, man. What's your take, Fig?
The same thing, man. I'm just thinking that Russia and their politics are so deeply involved in what's happening in Ukraine. The last thing they probably thinking about is Brittany Griner, and she's a black woman, a part of the LGBT community, and I'm not sure if that carries a lot of weight in the United States of America. Had this been somebody of a European persuasion or descent, I think maybe it had got a little more attention. But since the fact that she doesn't have the complexion for the protection, she might have to spend a little more time over there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. What's your take, man, Mike Sean?
It's sad because I just read an article that her wife said that she feels that she's going to be forgotten about, and it's unfortunate, but she has been forgotten about. And I don't think it's going to change anything when you're dealing with a guy like Putin, who's threatening to drop nuclear weapons on the Ukraine. He could care less about how we feel about Brittany Griner coming home, fair or unfair. So I pray for her, but I have a funny feeling we're not going to see her for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty sad. That's sad. So I'm not going to stay on that too much because it's a sad situation. Let's move on. Let's move on to another situation. Let's talk about my man Le'Veon Bell. He is going to obviously have a fight with Uriah Hall on October 29th. What's your take on this, T? Le'Veon Bell's fight having? What's your take?
Well, the only way I'm interested in this fight is if the winner fights Antonio Brown. Somebody guarantees the next thing somebody whoop his ass. Then I'm. Otherwise, this is not something that. This is one of those things I catch the highlights on. I don't. This is the new thing, though, man. I guess this is the new norm, because the more we denounce it or talk bad about it, the more fights get scheduled. So I don't know, man. I guess I'm gonna put my money on Le'Veon Bell.
Really?
$5.
But he ain't that bad, you know. He ain't that
Well, I mean, you know, he came and gave us some minutes over here, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it.
Okay, that's his take. What's your take, my man Fig? You think he got a career in this?
Man, listen. All I know is it's clear and apparent to me that fights pay more than the NFL and the WNBA. I mean, and the NBA, because these former football and basketball stars, when their careers are over, they seem to go into boxing, and it seems to be a nice payday. Whether you win or lose, you still get paid, and it seems like it's a retirement account, a IRA, if you will,
That's
for
funny.
former athletes
Yep.
to go and fight.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, I can't even disagree with you, Mike. Sean, what's your take, bro?
I mean, I love boxing. I would love to like crack jokes about this, but talent and figure both right. There's money being made. There are actual people watching. So if somebody can cut you a check for, I don't know how he's, I assume he probably made like 500,000 or something like that, but I could be way off. But that's money, and they're getting the viewership. And stranger things have happened. It's gonna continue. It's not gonna stop. And actually, it all started with Ed Too Tall Jones when he was with Dallas Cowboys, when he became a fighter.
That's right.
And won one fight, but then got beat up and realized I'm going back to the NFL. So
that's right.
we'll see what happens.
That's
Well,
right.
actually, I think it started with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It wasn't
did.
pay-per-view. It wasn't pay-per-view.
It was him and Bruce Lee.
I believe the movie was called The Game of Death.
Uh-huh.
Hilarious.
So Buster Only is reporting this morning that y'all's boy Aaron Judge might not come back to the Yankees because the Giants, the San Francisco Giants, are getting ready to offer him a larger contract than the Yankees are. Unless the Yankees could top it, they got him at $325, $350 for 10 years. The Yankees were going to make a thing for $300 for 10 years, make an offer for $300. Buster Only says they'll be anywhere from $310 to $325, and he said he wouldn't be surprised if they went to $350 million for 10-year contract. So I'm a little concerned. I got to
No,
admit,
you're not.
I got a little concerned.
No, you're not.
No, I'm really not. I'm really not. If I'm a Yankees fan, I'm concerned. What's your take on this, man? When you hear this news, because that might be more than what the Yankees want to spend.
How much?
Anywhere between $310 to $320, maybe even $350. 10
Nah,
years.
they'll top that. This the Yankees, bro. They spend more on popcorn. Let me tell you something. They will top that. They're not going to lose the Judge. He's not going nowhere. I don't see the Yankees. That's chump change in baseball, period. And then you talk about the Yankees letting somebody come in there after you done put $220 on the table to come and up it by $100 million in a couple of years and take it. Nah, the Yankees. Come on, Steinbrenner's gone. Them days is gone. The whole Winfield Steinbrenner beef is gone. This Yankee team right here is looking for that new superstar. We have a history of that superstar stuff, so I think longevity is gonna win over, and they're not gonna get top.
So no fear at all, huh? No fear at all.
Nah.
Okay, all right. Fig, what's your take, bro? Aaron Judge could break the bank. Buster Only, he's the baseball insider. He's never been wrong when he dropped something. He said he's fearful that the Yankees might lose Aaron Judge after this year and might want to go because, according, if I'm not mistaken, if I can remember correctly, Judge is from the West Coast. You know what I mean? So he might want to go to the West Coast. What's your take?
He's under contract.
He
wants a new contract, and whatever they offer him, the Yankees will either match it or top it. It's sort of like what they did with DeAndre Ayton. It was like, well, listen, this is what we're offering you. Go out there and test the market, and when they make the offer, we'll top it. I don't care what anybody reports. That's what it is.
Right. It's simple as that. Simple as that. Mike Sean, you're a New Yorker too. And like I said to these other two New Yorkers, no concern coming from them. So you must be probably in agreement with them. No concern because the Yankees will probably top it off. So even though Aaron Judge is supposed to be from the West Coast, any concern from you?
Absolutely. Going to the Giants, it'd be somewhere where he take over the Barry Bonds legacy and be in that stadium and play with the Giants. And the Yankees got a lot of money. We all know that. But there's always a limit to how much money you can actually cut a guy, one individual, a check. $350 million is a lot of money because you still got to pay pitchers because pitching wins in major leagues.
Yeah.
That's what wins. So you never know who they have their eye on. And I would be surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked if he went to the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised, but it's always about money. You know what I mean? But talent hit the nail on the head because the most money wins, and the Yankees don't seem to have an end to their money either. You know what I mean? They just don't seem to end. Like
the Yankees said 350. He said, I got that with me.
Yeah.
That's only hey Frank, I did the math. It's only $35 million a year. They make more than that in the NBA.
Yeah, but baseball doesn't generate the same amount of money, so the owners got to be able to figure out a way, if they make that spend, that they got to make sure that money's coming in, and they don't want to obviously have all that go to one player. You know what I mean? So Major League Baseball is not like the NBA where they relied a lot on these television contracts, and people aren't watching baseball. So sooner or later, maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
I think baseball does need to do, and I hate to be a hater, so the players, because I want the players to get their mony, but baseball needs a salary cap.
Yeah,
to let everybody be able. Yeah, so everybody can compete. The NFL has mastered. That's why we don't watch, because we're not your team. The Padres, chances aren't making it to the World Series. Now I want them to get their money, but there's going to be a salary cap at some point, and not they'll be on strike.
No salary cap. No.
I think
that's
don't
for
think
black sports only.
I don't think any sport should have a salary cap, to be honest with you, because nobody's capping the money you're bringing in.
Right.
That's one way to look at it. I mean, I could easily say, to make it competitive, you create a salary cap so all teams in all markets can have a chance to win, because like the NFL, when they instituted their salary cap back in the early 90s, that took off the boat right off the Cowboys, because the Cowboys was paying the most at the time, and they ran
and the 49ers.
Yeah, and the 49ers had it. They were running, and it was every year, if you all remember, it was always the Cowboys and the Steelers and 49ers. It was always that in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, because they could pay the most. You know what I mean?
Well, if
that's the case, then you need to figure out a way to cap in profit city by city too, and market by market. It's not fair. Now we're back to the whole fight that the government's fighting in our country on minimum wage. You're able to keep somebody at $11 if you want, no matter if you're making $11 billion, and that's not right. So the things need to balance out of what a team is making, bringing in as a profit, and paying out as a salary. Otherwise, even though it may look like a lot over a lot of years, it's minimum wage, and I'm not able to go above it.
Well,
and talent, I agree with you. I agree with you totally. All I'm saying is, what's the number one sport that we follow? The NFL. Why do we follow it? Because the Cincinnati Bengals can make the Super Bowl. Because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can make the Super Bowl.
But there has to be another way. I understand you guys' point, and it makes all the sense in the world to keep the game competitive and not lopsided. But there's other ways that you can keep it competitive and not lopsided than a salary cap. That's just one thing. That's the quick fix remedy. But to the person who's making the money, and I'm making it against, I'm playing for the Knicks, and the Knicks brings in $100 billion a year, and I can't go over $550 million. Like, it's minimum wage to a player. I know it seems like a lot to us, but if I'm a player and I'm worth whatever, and the team wants to keep me and pay whatever, that should be doable. I'm sorry.
And just 2 points. One, LeBron James generates way more than he can earn for any team that he goes to. And number two, the reason that we watch football is not because it's competitive. It's because football is an organized car crash. And you've never been on a highway where there was a car crash and both sides of the traffic didn't stop and look. We love a car crash. Everybody loves a car crash and a tragedy. Yeah. And no matter what's going on, we look.
It's not an either or thing. People watch because of the car crash, but people watch football because every single year you have no idea who's going to win, and it's up, and it thanks to the salary cap. So I mean,
I don't know about that.
I mean, we can debate it all day, and we're not going to. We only got an hour, but at the end of the day, just baseball needs to do something, because if they don't, it's getting worse and worse. Viewership is getting worse and worse. My man, Russell Wilson played horribly last night, man, and that's just, somebody up here said that the Colts was going to win. I don't know who it was, you know what I mean? But I think he's wearing gray and burgundy,
This guy, Frank. I said it before you even said it. This guy.
You said because I said it because I threw it to you first. But I said also my choice last night was
yo, you are a petty man, yo. He said you said it first, and I threw it to you first.
We gonna get petty. We're gonna be petty. Let's be petty properly.
Check the tape. If you check the tape, here's okay. I'll give it to you. We both said it, but if you check the tape, I win because I went deeper than just saying they're going to win. I said exactly what you just said now in hindsight. I said he sucks. And I said, I don't know what the hell going on with him. He sucks. How they even pay him, blah, blah, blah. He's going to stink it up and they're going to lose. I went that deep.
No,
I just make a pick. I went deep like that.
But I also agreed with you. Yeah, I agreed with you, but I also said the Broncos are overrated if we check the tape. Remember, I said everybody's giving them right. I said the Broncos are overrated. I said their D is good, but their offense is not clicking. I watched
pause with the D is good. Pause.
Is their D good?
I said that.
Yeah, catch yourself. Rewind that tape. Everybody watch this on a replay.
The defense is playing good. I got to say, but their offense looked hard. And last night was one of the most boringest NFL games I've watched in a long time. It was a struggle for me to even. It was hard to watch. So I kept flipping from that too, man. Fig, what was your take on this game last night? Talk to me. Tell me what you thought about the Broncos and the Colts.
What'd you think about the D, Fig?
Well, listen, I didn't pay attention to the D, but I paid attention to the fact that Talon said he sucked and he went deep. I was like, that sounds like a winning formula. Yo, here's the thing. Russell Wilson, he didn't have one of his best games. I didn't like the coaching calls either, because you go down and you're in the red zone several times and you see your offense is not doing well. And at the end of the game, instead of kicking the field goal, you go for it. And one of their field goals got blocked. So I'm just like, you know what? It was a combination between Russell Wilson having a bad game and the call of the coach at the exact same time. I would have kicked the field goal. 2 times in the red zone, Russell Wilson throws an interception. They're a lot closer. And the 3rd time down there, at the end of the game with the game on the line, you do it again. I'm like, yo, man, kick the field goal. Your defense is clearly playing better than your offense. Kick the field goal and make them score against the better side of your team. It was a dumb move by the coach, as far as I'm concerned.
Greg, talk about the team. The team looked shattered to me. Like they were really upset at him.
Yeah, they were upset, but I mean, you know what? I attribute it to growing pains, because there's some great quarterbacks that went to new teams and didn't do very well in the very first 4 to 5 games, 6 games, and stuff like that. I was listening to Sports Talk this morning. They said Peyton Manning, when he first went to Denver, his record was horrible in the first 5, 6 games. He didn't win. And then all of a sudden, they caught fire, they got a little chemistry, and they took off. So, I mean, this is something that this is not an anomaly. This is not something that has not happened before. So we just need a little more time for them to gel.
Fig is right, but on the flip side of that, I could counter that and say when Tom Brady went to the Bucs that played well too. I mean, you could make an argument.
Not in the beginning. Not in the very beginning. The Bucs did not do well when Tom first got there, because he was risking.
They lost one game in the first.
Hold up. Your coach for the Bucs was risk it or biscuit, and Tom Brady was like, "Yo, let's manage the game. Let's go short. Let's go mid-range passes. Stop throwing all these deep passes, and we'll be able to win games." When they first started, he wanted him to be like Jameis Winston, and that formula didn't work. When Tom Brady implemented his brand of offense to the Bucs, that's when they started doing well.
If I remember correctly, I could have sworn they went 4-2 in their first 6 games. I'll look back on it. I'm gonna look back on it if we get up. But I could have sworn they only lost 2 games. They lost to the Saints, if I remember, and they lost to Green Bay. You know what I mean? But we'll circle back on that. Mike, what's your take on this, bro? Let me talk to me. Tell me what you think. I mean, because what Figs is bringing up is a great point. It's not like it's a bad point. Maybe it's going to take them some time. Maybe Russell Wilson needs it to. What do you think?
It's going to take time. The guy's in a new system, and he's developing. Matt Ryan is going through the same struggles being in a new system. They were both horrible last night. They were both. That's but true. The coaching staff, the offensive coordinator, I will say this one thing about Russell Wilson, that I think he's chasing a ghost on trying to prove that interception in the Super Bowl was just happened, because he presses every time he gets there now. Like, it's literally on that 4-for-1 play, he has the first down if he just runs.
Yes.
But if he decides, I have to fight these ghosts, I need to make this pass so I can. You can't. It's over. Just get the first down and keep it moving. Now, with the coaching staff and the offensive coordinator, all you had to do was run the ball at the end of the game. Yeah. All you had to do was run the clock out. But you decided you got this new toy, you got this new guy, and you're going to put the pressure on him to win the game, when in actuality, you run the clock out. You don't throw a pass when you're winning and you're in the red zone. You run the ball. That was the simple part of that game. So did he struggle? Yes. Is he learning a new offense? Yes. Is it still early? Yes. I still think they'll make the playoffs.
And at the end of the day, it's going to take us some time. But I will say this: at the end of the day, they might get it together. But I see the Colts getting together before the Broncos do. My man OBJ is out there, still a free agent talent. Talk to me, man. What do you think at the end of the day? Where do you think OBJ is going to land? Because right now, teams are starting to say, okay, there's a lot of veteran free agents sitting on the market right now, and we're going to need a couple of pieces. I think, and I'm going to throw mine out there first, because, I never get to say mine first. And then you come up here and say, I said it first.
Because you're already in my brain, and now you're trying to get your credit back.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my credit back. Yeah,
No,
I think OBJ, I wouldn't be surprised if OBJ lands on Green Bay, but most importantly, I think he probably will go to the Bills. I see him going to the Bills. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, those are my two teams. Give me all the teams, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever teams you think that you can see OBJ landing, bro. And then talk to me, because we in week 5, OBJ might be signed by week 6. What's your take?
I see him going to the Packers. It's the obvious look. It's the obvious need. And I think in OBJ's brain at this stage of the game in his career, he's going to be doing a pick 'em. And he's picking teams that he knows that he's that final component to make them the top contender and got a chance to get into the chip. And that would be Green Bay. If Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers and them don't lose their top receiver, they're still right at the top of the NFC, without any speculation. They got a little speculation now because he got these young, and in his own words, inconsistent receivers. Now you bring in a proven receiver like an OBJ, and even OBJ got to be thinking the same thing. Like, I team up with one of the greatest quarterbacks playing right now. It's a shoo-in. All we got to do is stay healthy, and we in there. So I see him going to Green Bay, and everything is pointing to that. All that innuendo talking in the news, the fact that you got Aaron Rodgers talking about it is enough. The fact that you got him answering that silly-ass question, like he's not shrugging it off like, I want to talk about it. He's talking about it. He's like, it'd be great to play together. That's the setup.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. But, Fig, I'm going to throw this out there too, Fig. If he went there and started playing with Tom Brady, that could be scary too, because Brady needs some receivers too. Fig, what's your take? Where do you think OBJ will land?
What's kind of funny, man, when you think about it? I think OBJ would do great in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. San Francisco got a really good team, and Jimmy Garoppolo is a dope quarterback. I could see San Francisco ending up in going deep in the playoffs and possibly ending up in another Super Bowl, because if Jimmy G doesn't get injured, that's what the kid does. I mean, every time we've seen a healthy Jimmy G, they always end up in the end. And guess what? When you're coming off an injury, do you want to go a place where it's freezing cold all the time? Or do you want to go to a place where it's warm? Because everybody, well, not everybody, but if you had any kind of significant injury, you know that warm weather is much better for you than it is in the frozen tundra. And going to Green Bay and going to Buffalo where it's freezing cold is not probably the best place for you to be as an older player and one that's coming off a major injury. You go down to San Francisco with Jimmy G and y'all can do a lot of stuff together other than playing football. That's all I
Mike Sean. Possibility that OBJ could go back to the Rams too. You know what I mean? Where do you think that OBJ is going to land? Because there's a lot of great possibilities for him out there, man. Where you see him going to?
I think he should stay with the Rams. They still got a locker sitting right there. They're waiting. And the problem that the Rams have right now is they have no deep threat. Now, I want to say this. After these injuries, we don't know if Odell Beckham's the same Odell Beckham. We're not going to know that until he gets on the field and proves that he's 100% healthy. But in hindsight, Odell, if you're watching, just come home. Come home to New York. The Giants are sitting right here. Just come back to the Big Apple and let's say we make it happen. Like, for real. Like, did we make a mistake trading you? Yes, we made a mistake. But you had a few things going on in the streets that we were worried about. Now we know you've matured. Come back home. It's right here. There's no need for all the speculation. That's the number one market in the world. Just come home, make this money, and help Daniel Jones have a threat that we can have.
That's a true Giant.
Mike should go ahead and be a scout. You see, you hear the voice changer. Come on home, baby. Just come home. Mike was like this. Let me tell you something. So, Giants, come home.
That's it.
We had a little tip. And you make a mistake, yeah.
Yo, Charlie, I thought he was going to go into the Jamaica commercial. One love. Let's get together and feel all right.
That's how good that was, Mike. I haven't seen a pitch like that since Blue Chips.
Dog, that's what I felt like. I felt like a college recruiter. Look, man, let bygones be bygones and just come back home.
Oh my God.
I don't know if you're talking about OBJ or Obi-Wan Kenobi. Come on.
Let the force be with you.
Let's just jump into the picks this week, man. Let me jump into the picks and start out there. Let's first start with Brady. Brady and the Bucks are playing against the Falcons. I got to say, the country's divided. The sports pundits are divided. A lot of people are saying that this could be the upset of the week because Brady had an injured right shoulder. He got an injured right finger. He didn't practice this week, even though he says he feels great. People are saying he's not his normal self this week, and people are saying that the Falcons won the last two games and they're starting to get it together. So I'm gonna ask you, T. Is this going to be your upset of the week, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Atlanta Falcons, or you think the Atlanta Falcons are going to lose to the Bucs?
It's crazy. When you told me he retired again, I changed my bet. And then since they've been confirmed, I changed back. But
that's smart.
I don't think they're going to cover this big 10-point that they're giving the team. I think they will win. I think Brady's going to take his time. I don't think we're going to see like the wartime Brady. I think we'll see the decent Brady enough to win by maybe 7-8 points. But normally, if he wasn't going through what he was, I would bet on the blowout. But I think this week, he's going to do enough to win. I would bet the house he's going to win just because of that horrible loss the last game. Good teams bounce back from big losses. They got their ass kicked by the Chiefs. So look for Brady to bounce back. I still got him winning.
Okay, so in other news, there's other people picking in the other upset of the week. A lot of people are picking the Rams versus the Cowboys. I'm gonna ask you, Fig, is the Dallas Cowboys beating the Rams your upset of the week, or who you taking?
No, well, Cooper Rush is playing really good as a quarterback, but he hasn't faced a defense like the Rams. You know what I mean? The Rams have like A1 defense, and I'm not sure the Cowboys could be able to overcome that. So I think this is going to be a defensive struggle, sort of like what we watched last night. As a matter of fact, last night looking at the first half score, I thought I was watching a baseball game. It was so low. So I'm gonna go with the Rams over the Cowboys, but it would not surprise me if the Cowboys won because they've been looking really good.
All right, let me bring up Mike Sean and so let me see what his question is because I'm looking at the rest of the game. All right, the Patriots are playing this week with their third string QB. The Patriots are playing the Detroit Lions. They're playing at home. They got a lot of issues. Yeah. So what are you thinking about, Mike Sean? You think the Patriots are going to be able to pull it out against Detroit? Because Detroit's been able to run it up on offense, but on defense, they've been able to give up just as much as they run up. What's your take?
After you presented the question with the gloom and doom of a Patriots fan, like what, like, yeah, y'all got the third string quarterback and y'all got injuries and I've said this and I repeat it. I'm going to beat this dead horse. Belichick had better be replaced at some point as a general manager because y'all don't have enough depth right now to beat Detroit. Now, if y'all beat Detroit, but I would take Detroit in this game.
Oh, okay. You shocked the world. Take Detroit. Okay. All right. Yep. All right. I got to see. I before I ask you your question, Talent, would you take Detroit in New England? See, because you're the better of us. Even though
yeah.
Okay. All right. The Giants are in London. The Giants are playing the Packers in London. Do you think the Giants are going to be able to? The Giants are on their third string QB also. You think the Giants are going to be able to beat the Packers on their third string QB, and the Giants got a lot of. Listen, they got wide receiver Kadarius Toney out, offensive lineman Azeez Ojari, wide receiver Kenny Galladay, cornerback Cadell Flott, and defensive lineman Henry Mondeau. They all are out this week. That's for the Giants. And yeah, they're playing against Green Bay in London, 9:30 in the morning. Who you taking, T? It looked like you're doing your picks.
Giants. Well, I'm doing the picks that we're doing. I'm just checking stuff off. No, Giants don't stand a chance. You know what I mean? And going abroad just makes it worse. But I think that they're too banged up, and more importantly, you got a hungry Packer team looking to make a point because their game was nasty. Their last game was pretty nasty looking, just like this thing last night. With those low scores and Aaron Rodgers not being able to do what he do. It's only averaging a couple hundred yards a game, passing yards a game, which, Aaron Rodgers is the 350 better. He's that guy when he's playing good. So I think this is the good game. This is the game. It's going to show off, he's a scrappy looking white dude. He's in England. He's in the motherland. I bet on him.
All right, two more questions before we get to the NBA. One, my man Fig. Talk to me. The Chicago Bears are playing this week against the Vikings. Justin Fields been playing horrible so far this year. A lot of people are saying they're not sure, but the Bears have been winning, but Justin Fields hasn't been playing as good as he can be playing. But the Bears have been winning. Who you got? The Bears or the Vikings, Fig? What's your take?
Oh man. I'm going with the Vikings, man. You know why? Because it's a rivalry game. It's like a conference rivalry game. You know what I mean? And the Vikings, nobody's talking about them, but quiet is kept. The Vikings have been doing pretty good, man. I think the Vikings lost one game. Yeah, I'd go with the Vikings on this one.
Okay. All right. And other news, one more question before we jump into the NBA. My man, Michael Sean, some people are picking the Eagles, but some people are picking Arizona Cardinals this week. And a lot of people are saying that could be the upset of the week, too, because everybody knows that the Philadelphia Eagles are undefeated right now. They're 4-0. Zach Ertz is preparing to play against his former team, against the Eagles. It should be a good game. What's your take? Who you got? You got the Eagles or you got the Cardinals?
Well, first of all, real quick on the Giants playing in London, football looks crazy when it's played in London. I don't care what nobody says. It looks crazy to start a game at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and it just never looks right. Kyler Murray is probably the most overpaid quarterback in the league.
Wow.
And he's getting exposed. He got exposed normally in the second half of seasons and in the playoffs. But now, I'm telling you, they figured Kyler Murray out, and he was very smart, and he should thank his agent for negotiating that contract and getting the money that he got. Because we're going to watch Kyler Murray just be a regular quarterback soon in this league.
Yeah, I do that. Let's give a quick shout out to running back, Washington Commanders running back Brian Robinson, who returned to practice. 5 weeks after he got shot twice in the leg. He's playing against the Titans this week, man. You got to give a kudos to that brother, man, because, you know, a lot of people would take the whole season off after getting shot twice in the leg. But he's getting ready to do that. Now, I want to jump into this, and I want to talk about this extensively. And the reason being, well, I'll unfold this. We all know about Draymond Green. We all know about the fight that Draymond Green had with it. But TMZ released a video of Draymond Green punching Jordan Poole, and people are saying, according to Yahoo Sports, people are saying it has a lot to do with the contract extension because Draymond is upset that he's not in contract extension talks, whereas Jordan Poole is with the Golden State Warriors. I'm gonna ask you, T, what's your take on what do you think that is this a rock the boat kind of thing? What you think?
You know what's crazy, bro? I just seen that tape, right? 2 minutes before we went on the air. I take back everything I said.
But which part?
I walked back all, I was very, I guess I was a little more wishful thinking and considerate on Draymond's side, but he gave him a real black boy hit.
Yeah, he did.
That was Miseducation of Sonny Carson. You ever see that movie?
Yeah.
Dude, he went lunging. That was a real, when they say it, you think it's one of them back to basketball practice joints. That was a real, go viral, somebody hit somebody in the street joint. I don't care what it was over. That's unacceptable. That was some grown man ish. So I walk it back and say, man, now that I see the video, bro, Yeah, you
didn't think he should got suspended. You said he.
Yeah, I didn't think that because I thought it was a practice tip hit. This was a real hit. So suspension, I ain't mad at that no more. Matter of fact, let me throw a couple games on top of what they come.
A couple games? So you think a couple games suspension?
No, they said a couple. Let me throw a couple on top of the couple. That was a real hit. So I think it was despicable. You know why it was despicable, Frank? For one reason only. You're the veteran of the team. This is the young boy on the come up. The worst example you could ever put out there and leave with this young mind that you're still molding into a great player. You did it. How great can you be? I don't care what he said. One thing our parents all taught us, words is one thing. You put your hands on somebody, that changes the level of play. He could have said anything he wanted over there in practice. You suck. I'm about to make money. Your team don't really need you. Your hands, whatever. All that rubs off. But the way he went at a dude, he went to get in his space, and kudos to Jordan for that push to create space. Like, yo, bro, don't, because that's how you get sucker punched.
Mm-hmm.
So if Draymond had it in his mind already to throw a punch, if he didn't create that little bit of space, the damage could have been worse. And you're going to damage another player on your team, a young player, and you're the veteran.
Yeah, it looked a whole lot worse probably than what it was. Fig, did you see first of all, Fig, did you see the video of the punch?
Yeah.
And what's your take on this?
Yeah.
You got two guys, jaw jacking, emotion is high. You get in the dude's face, and he push you. I don't care what talent say. I know the way he editorialized it. Like he pushed him just to create some space. No. You did a 2-hand push in the chest. That's the knock this chip off my shoulder type thing. Or best man hit. That's what that was. If you get in somebody's face, your jaw jacking and somebody push you, the next thing is coming. In any hood in America, in the United States of America, somebody push you, that's the beginning of the fight. I don't care that everybody on here. If somebody's talking junk, you talking junk, y'all going back and forth. Now y'all meet and somebody push you. What you supposed to do? Walk away? You hook off. I don't care when not. Veteran, young boy, come up, been here, done that, whatever. This stuff happens in the NBA. The only thing the problem is it was on video.
Suspension?
That's it.
Suspension? suspension?
Nah,
No, okay, no suspension.
not at all.
But let me just say, for the record, he got suspended for one game over Kevin Durant when we called him a name, and
That's
now he
because Kevin Durant needed to be coddled. They were trying to hold on to Kevin Durant. They was hoping that Kevin Durant wouldn't leave, which he actually ended up doing. So they was trying to appease Kevin Durant to make sure that he stayed. That's what that was about.
Michael Sean, give me your take on this because the video came out with a punch. It looks
Yeah.
a whole lot worse than what we were talking about yesterday.
Yes, it does.
Like I said, he got suspended for a verbal altercation with Kevin Durant. What do you see coming down now that the video's been released? Like Golden State can't do nothing because now the video's been released by TMZ. What's your take on how they should handle this now? And do you think that the contract extension talks is what ignited it?
I don't know what ignited it, but I know he's not worth the problem anymore.
Mhm.
He's not worth. He's not worth. Like you'll accept Dennis Rodman's behavior and stuff like that because he's worth the problem. But what NBA players don't get is you already caused us to have to rebuild when you were the main factor on Kevin Durant leaving. Now we got a young man that we're grooming to be one of the leaders on the team, and you attack him. Now the key point is listen to Steph Curry's press conference. Steph didn't come to his defense. Steph didn't defend him. Steph kept it very bland because the end is near. And Draymond knows the end is near with Golden State. And it will happen after the season's over. There'll be something that goes on. And the pressure that he's been a problem for a bunch of years. Golden State can actually say, not only did you cause us Kevin Durant, but you caused us a championship with your actions with LeBron James.
That's a great point.
And now you're punching one of our young players. You're not worth the behavior. You can be your 9 points can be replaced. And the replacement might be sitting on the bench right now. But you know, it's not just the offense. His defense wasn't what everybody says it was last year either.
Yes, it was.
Not in the playoffs. He was getting served up, and he got frustrated and started harassing people. The entire NBA Finals, he was trying to harass people, and he got away with it because of his reputation. And the Golden State Warriors are going to realize we don't need this problem.
So you think he's gone at the end of the year, basically? You think he's gone?
I think he's on his way out.
I'll go up.
And I think that's why he's pissed off. I think that's why he's pissed off because Steph Curry is the official true leader of that team. It's not Draymond Green. The glue, when Draymond was averaging 4 points a game, Steph was averaging 30 and carrying that team in the NBA Finals. You're not worth the problem.
Wait, can I?
For the record, Frank. He's gone. For the record, he's gone.
Here's something that irks my nerves.
Hold on, Vic.
Okay.
Mike, for the record, you think he's gone?
Yes. I think Golden State has already made the decision that we're going to figure out a plan to move on.
All right, Vic, go ahead, give me your
Here's what irks my nerves. When an individual, I don't care who they are, tries to tell you what another person is thinking. That's an impossibility. I don't care what you say about what you saw. Your opinion is on what you see and what it is that you have observed and your expertise on that. When you start telling me what somebody was thinking or their motive for doing something, that's beyond your scope of expertise. Nobody has the ability to do that.
That's what we're here for.
Whoa. I waited. Let me finish.
No, but I'm saying for the record,
let me tell you what you're thinking now.
No. I waited while you spoke. So just let me.
No, you tried to interrupt. It's on tape.
I waited.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Frank.
Go ahead.
No, and what
it's
I'm
on
saying
tape.
is,
it's on tape.
Mike,
You
Mike,
interrupt everybody.
Mike, let him finish. Go ahead, Vic.
What I'm saying is that you can say what your opinion is about the action, but I'll tell you this: there's no way that the Golden State Warriors beat the Boston Celtics without Draymond Green. And also, last year when Draymond Green was injured, the Golden State Warriors started to lose, and they were hard. They were like 20-something in defense. As soon as he came back, the defense got better, and they started to win. You don't realize what this man's impact is on the team. It goes beyond scoring. I keep trying to tell everybody that talks basketball, it's beyond scoring.
So for the record, you think he's going to stay?
I think he's going to stay throughout his contract.
Yeah, his contract is up this year. I'm saying you think
2 years. He has 2 years left on his contract, and it's a player's option.
Okay,
If he opts out, then that's on him. But I think he stays.
Okay, so
And I tell you this, let me just say this. If Draymond Green leaves, whatever year he leaves, the Golden State Warriors will not get a championship that year. Guaranteed.
Gee, you're going to be which side of the rope you going to fall on? Then you think he's going to leave, or you think he's going to stay?
Figures out of his rabbit ass mind. There comes a time when it's no longer your time. Draymond is in that purgatory right now. He's in that purgatory of play where I'm not saying he's trash. I'm not saying he's the worst dude on the field, but he's not the guy that the guy you're defending has been gone for a couple of years. So he's now at a different level of play where Mike has a great point where you're not worth the problem anymore. We put up with people that are worth the problem until they're no longer worth the problem. And then we start to look for other options and other ways to come to a final solution of where the direction the team's going to go. Unfortunately, he's there. He's at that cusp. You know, he's at that part of his career and his age and all that stuff that is he still beneficial to another team with different core players? Absolutely. This system right here, if you haven't paid attention in the last 2 seasons especially, has gotten a lot younger and back to the original Golden State high-flying boys and fast-running. And Draymond, even though he was their center, this is how you know the difference is there. And you want to talk facts and not what I'm thinking, talking facts. If you watch this season and watch a lot of the games, the majority of the games, Draymond was never the last guy down the court in those winning years. That's how much energy has shifted and changed. When you look at the games now, Draymond is that guy lagging up the court a lot of the time. That wasn't Draymond in the championship years. In most of the championship years, even the one they lost with LeBron in them, that dude he'll get that ball outlet, and before they even finish getting 2 points on the board or 3 points, he's down the court. He's not that guy no more. He throws that outlet. You're lucky if he gets up to half, a little past half, before the ball transcends back the other way. He's at that cusp. He's at that purgatory cusp where I have to agree with Mike that he may not be worth the problem anymore.
All right.
Can I just say something about trying to speak on what somebody's thinking? That's our job.
No, now you're being petty. No.
But what I'm saying, that's our job here is to analyze what you think. When we watch the video, we're thinking, what the hell went on that happened? Like, why would you react like that? So you have to analyze what is going on. I'm not saying I know what Draymond was thinking, but the job is to look at a video and say, okay, he's mad at the contract. He's mad at his contract not being extended. He's mad at Jordan Poole, and he's upset. That's our job is to analyze.
You have to love somebody who is so petty that they're going to find a reason on why they're going to speak on their pain. Mike is right. I'm not knocking it because that's what we do too. We're talking on other people's opinion, what they thought. He's right about that.
You can talk about what was in. No, you can talk. You can speak definitively about what an individual thought.
No, I can have
You can speculate, but you can't speak definitive. You can't speak definitively on what somebody is thinking. Are you crazy?
Big, I'm gonna speak right now to tell the world what you're thinking right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Mike is crazy.
Is that speculation or is that definitive?
I know he don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Oh, I know what I'm talking about.
Crazy. I know he don't know what he's talking about. Not when it comes to this team.
All right, so let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. So in other about talk about crazy, talk about these other things. Dennis Schroeder is now gone to the Lakers. Do you think that was a great move for the Lakers to add Dennis Schroeder onto the mix of what they already have with Pat Bev, Russell Westbrook, a couple of they even got what's the kid, the Nunn kid that I think his name is Derek Nunn. He's even back there. Dennis Schroeder's back in the mix. What's your thoughts about Dennis Schroeder being re-signed back with the Lakers? Because if you all recall, February of 18 months ago, he turned down a huge contract when he was with the Lakers and ended up going to the Celtics for peanuts, and now he's going back to the Lakers. What's your take on this, Steve?
This is wonderful for the Lakers. They caught him. They saved $83 million. This has got to be the worst thing in the NBA in the recent history. This dude blew 83 on the table. Nah, I'm gonna go out here and get this. Y'all bullshit. I can go get this money. Ain't get nothing. And now you're coming back on sale. Somebody just opened up Gimbel's, Alexander's, and Caldor again. That's what just happened. They got him on sale, $83 million late. Of course, it's good because here's the good thing in hindsight. Now, let me tell you what he's thinking.
Yeah, tell him what he's thinking.
Schroeder's thinking like this. He's thinking these people at once, they know what I'm worth. At once they offer me $83 million. So I'm gonna go back here, put up a hell of a season, put some numbers up, be an intricate part of this team, and they're gonna revisit these numbers with me again because they know, because they was the ones that offered me the $83 million before. Tell me I got that wrong.
And I'm not gonna be stupid enough to turn down if they offer it to me again. I'm gonna take it as soon as it
You're
comes.
gonna take a cheeseburger and fries if they offer it next time.
He's gonna take DoorDash.
I'm taking it. Whatever y'all come with, I'm taking it. Dennis Schroeder side with the Lakers. What's your take, Fig?
I don't know. He's a decent player, but I don't think it moves the needle. I think the Lakers. Look, over the course of the years, we've seen LeBron James from high school up until now. The only time LeBron James has been absolutely amazing when he's surrounded by shooters. The Lakers don't have them, and I think they're going to be pedestrian at best.
Ooh. Mike Sean, Dennis Schroeder comes in. The Big said he doesn't move the needle. Does he move the needle, do you think, in your opinion?
He's a good player, but I got to agree with Fig on this. I don't think he moves the needle. I know what Talon said was right. I know he's mad as hell. I can tell you what he's thinking. He's mad as hell that he listened to his agent and didn't sign that damn contract.
Yeah.
So at this point, I mean, the Lakers, if LeBron and Anthony Davis, and that's a big if, I admit that is a big if they stay healthy the entire season, they'll be the fourth or fifth seed if they stay healthy the entire season.
Hey,
but that's the same thing we're wondering about Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. That's the same thing every team is worried about. That's what the Sixers are worried about with Joel Embiid. Is he going to stay healthy? That's just a common thread.
That's just the way that you think. But I guarantee you right now that Dennis Schroeder is mad at his agent, if he even still has the same agent, because he missed out on at least $60 million. You know
hey, Frank, wait a minute. Hold up. Mike just said if LeBron James and Anthony Davis stay healthy, Anthony Davis is injured now. The second game of the preseason. And he didn't play. He got back issues right now.
And I said that's a big if.
I know,
quote me correctly. I said that's a big if.
No, Mike, I'm not, no, definitely. I'm not pushing back on what you're saying. I just thought it was hilarious because Anthony Davis is injured and the season hasn't even begun. The dude played one preseason game and he's injured now.
Yeah, so you know what I want to ask you up real quick because we got a little bit of time. Anybody here think that the Lakers should trade AD? Anybody here think they should trade him? Because I think they should trade him. I think they should get rid of him now. Why they?
But what they gonna get is like me trying to sell you a car and you just saw the engine blow up, and I go like, you want to buy this car? Like Mike, nobody is gonna give up draft.
There will be somebody who will take Anthony Davis. I don't care what nobody says. If they were to put him on the trading block and they would call some team, somebody would be like, you know what, I take the flyer.
I got the Vancouver Grizzlies to take him in a heart.
The Vancouver Grizzlies. The Seattle
somebody would take. Listen,
we'll take him right now.
I'll tell you this.
Put him next to Big Country. Woo!
He's probably the only player other than LeBron James that has any value on that team where they could get something back for him.
Yeah,
that's probably it. And guess what?
And they almost forced him. They almost forced him to trade him.
Absolutely. If you think to yourself, are we going to win? Can we win it all this year? If you be 100% honest, that answer is unequivocally no. And you say, how are we going to look going forward with an aging roster? You're not going to do very well. You could probably do a lot better for your future if you trade Anthony Davis now and get the most value for him, and then try and build your team going forward.
Hey, Frank, would you trade for him? Would you trade for him?
Would I trade for him? No.
Yeah, the Celtics. No.
For the Patriots?
No.
How about
the Bruins?
The Red Sox? Would you trade for him for the Red Sox to play center field?
Well, just the Red Sox are going through transition right now. They're going to be even worse. Yeah, I'd trade for if I was the Red Sox.
Yo, Anthony Davis is my shattered dreams.
Hey, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro. Talk to me, man.
Hey, Talent the Comedian, man. Follow me on Instagram, Talent the Comedian. This weekend, tonight is going down at White Plains, the Coliseum. And we're giving away cash, man, with this comedy thing tonight. So we got a contest tonight that's going to be happening. And don't forget, next weekend, the weekend after next, 21st, 22nd, Stress Factory headlining.
That's my man. Big,
yes, sir.
Follow.
Yeah, man, you follow me all social media platforms at Comedian Fig. I'm somewhere tonight, man. I'm up in Bristol, Connecticut tonight, man, doing like this a recovery house, man. It's gonna be really good. We're gonna entertain the people at the recovery house.
How long you been clean?
Huh?
How long you been clean? I mean,
oh my God, over 30 years. Over 30 years, I've been clean.
Congratulations.
How about you, Mike Sean?
I don't know who got this idea, but I got to go back to Dallas, and they're giving me an award at an award ceremony. I don't know. They were like, Mike Sean, we want to give you this award for what you've done in Dallas and on radio and stand up. And I was like, all right, cool. And they're gonna pay me. I was like, oh, you gonna give me an award and you're gonna pay me? So thanks to them. October 21st.
Dope, Mike.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, congratulations on that, especially on that and the check. Most people don't get accolades and the check at the same time.
That's true.
Y'all are watching the box seats at the show. Thank you all for watching. Now, y'all be safe this weekend. The weather is getting a little bit crispier. Y'all make sure y'all be safe out there. That's Talent. That's Vic. That's Mike. Rodney Perry and the Business Bully should be back next week. Again, box seats on 3 times a day. It's on the Humor Mill app. We also replay it on the channel all day long. On the weekends, we're going to play it a lot this weekend, too, because there's a lot of stuff happening. Next week, we got to dive into the baseball. We believe it or not, we still ain't talking about the baseball, but we ain't even got to it. We're going to try our best. And talk about the NFL games. And, of course, there's always going to be something to talk about. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all again next week. Y'all be safe out there. All right? Take care.